For business news, videos and insights, check out the O2 Business blog by clicking the link on screen or in the description below.
Hey guys, you're watching Btekt. My name is Basil. This is the Nextbit Robin. It's a cloud second phone. When you fill up the 32 gig onboard storage, it offloads stuff to the cloud. It's really smart with how it does that, and I'll explain that in a lot more detail in a short while. But before I dive into my review, if you're not already subscribed to Btekt, subscribe. It helps us out massively and means you get to stay on top of everything that we do. Right, Nextbit Robin, 5.2-inch screen, available in two colors. You've got this mint version, also available in a kind of midnight version. You can also get some funky cases to give you some color pop. I've got the coral one here. Big design focus, so it's quite cool to see that this phone isn't just about design, it also has that cloud thing, giving it another unique selling point. The design is what I'm going to start off with though. You've got stereo speakers atop the 5.2-inch screen, which means this is a pretty long phone. Fortunately, it's also pretty slim, 7mm thick, so it fits comfortably in a hand, although if you do have smaller hands you might have trouble reaching right to the top and bottom. Down at the base, USB Type-C for charging. Up top, 3.5mm jack. You've got a 5-megapixel front camera. The 5-inch screen is, or 5.2-inch screen is full HD, while around the back is a 13-megapixel rear camera with a dual flash. What's also really weird is you've got this cloud symbol and some LED lights around the back, and that's to indicate when it is offloading stuff into the cloud. Do I like the design? I absolutely love it. I cut off my question there because it was just such an outright, I love how this phone looks. Available in midnight. I actually prefer this mint version because it's just even more color poppy. Paired with this coral case, color pop to the extreme. But the midnight version also looks a little bit more demure if this is all a bit too much for you. One thing I have noticed though is this phone is like Marmite. If you don't know that whole expression, Marmite, you either love it or you hate it. I've seen people love this phone, I've seen people hate this phone. Me, I'm definitely in the loving camp, though I don't love the cloud logo around the back and those LED lights. Next time maybe you could lose them. I wouldn't really mind if I didn't know it was offloading to the cloud and it was doing that all in the background. Right, now that I've finished talking about the design and it gets a general big thumbs up, onto that screen, 5.2-inch full HD IPS display. Good quality, great viewing angles, decent colors, good brightness, very little else to say. It's not going to be the best screen in the world, but it was never going to be on a $400 device. For something like that, you'll be looking to the Samsung Galaxy S7 Edge. What you get here is a competent screen with no major downfalls. Inside the phone, it's Android 6.0.1 and it's Nextbit's custom take on it. Very tasteful. Even though they've killed the applications tray, Huawei kills the applications tray, then overloads it with a load of other stuff in Emotion UI. This time around, you've got an elegant user interface. You've got nav bars that are done with circles, so they reiterate the industrial design of the phone itself. The stereo speakers, really tasteful. What's more, interaction smooth, two-tier pull-down notification, quick toggle tray. One thing that does stand out, which is different, is you've got a little circle with 3 dots on the right hand side. Tap through on that and you can access your archived applications and your pinned applications as well. So yeah, even though I'm generally not a fan of overlays on Android, this is kind of a strip back of stock Android, which is done very well. As far as the cameras go, you've got a 5-megapixel front camera and a 13-megapixel rear camera. The 5-megapixel front camera is simple enough, can take full HD video, you can take a good selfie, and it performs relatively well across lighting conditions. Competitive but not mind-blowing. As for the 13-megapixel rear camera, there are some really neat UI enhancements that just make it a little bit cooler than your standard camera. For starters, you can customize your focus or have manual focus. It has a macro mode, it has a landscape mode, but it also has full manual override, which is sweet. Unfortunately, there is no shutter control, so you can't be doing light trails if you want to. Still, in the same breath, that means you get good results, decent focus levels, and you can also zap the ISO right up and down as you so wish, which will kind of in turn play a part with the shutter speed. Now in sheer automatic mode, the photos look a little bit bitty, not fantastic, but not terrible either. But as soon as you fire a flash on, if you've got this case on, they're gonna look really pink. Oh yeah, it picks up the hue from the coral case. Take the case off and the flash photos look decent, but again, nothing too mind-blowing. So I wouldn't pick this up if a camera is the primary focus of your purchasing decision. Again, can't stand up to the S7 and S7 Edge, and the iPhone 6s Plus, for example. But still, if the cloud thing really interests you, the price interests you because it's obviously a lot cheaper than the aforementioned, then this is a good camera phone too, and it can shoot up to 4K video as well. Another high point of the Nextbit Robin's setup is those speakers. You've got dual speakers, you've also got dual amplifiers as well. That means that this thing is loud. It is at least as loud as the HTC 10. Oh yeah, we've just called it the stereo smartphone champion, even though technically it isn't always stereo. It depends what mode you put it on. Still, the HTC 10 is beautiful. This side by side holds its own, and at $400 that's a great thing. But one thing that it doesn't do is nail it in terms of quality. It is good, but it's just that little bit more muffled than the HTC 10. What you can also do is pair these with some bespoke AI headphones that have been made in partnership with Nextbit. The equalizer settings are just on point. It sounds great, a little bit bass heavy admittedly, but if you like that kind of stuff, then you're going to get a great sound from this. What's also amazing about the AI headphones, oh yeah, that's a mouthful, is the fact that they're modular, so you can have a different cable to a different head strap to a different ear pad, etc. 4 components to make a very wonderful, unique kind of system for the Nextbit Robin, which is sweet. Other media can be enjoyed really well on this thing because of that 5.2-inch screen. Videos look great. You don't even need to plug in headphones. Games as well play back really well. You've got 3 GB of RAM on here paired with that Snapdragon 808 processor, so it can play back pretty much anything you throw at it. So yeah, multimedia on this thing is really wonderful. The flat sides also just add to that because it means that it's very easy to hold and you won't be muffling or covering up any speakers in the process. Now I'm going to talk about that cloud solution, just quickly explain it in a nutshell. You've got 32 gig on board, you've got 100 gigabytes of cloud storage. So when you fill up that 32 gig on board, you're going to push stuff to the cloud. That's going to be your images and your applications. It won't be pushing videos just yet. When you connect to Wi-Fi, you'll be pushing those images up. You'll still have a thumbnail version on your phone and you'll be pulling them down every time you want to access them in high resolution. But at base level, you can quite comfortably and confidently zap those applications, which are going to be taking the lion's share of your storage because you can always download them from the Google Play Store. You can pin applications to your phone so that you can have them whether you're online or offline. But yeah, generally speaking, I've found that the 32 gig on board will see me through comfortably for around 5 weeks or so, and I'm a real power user. After that, I push stuff to the cloud and it seems to work pretty seamlessly. Nextbit is working on a video solution, so watch this space for that. With that Snapdragon 808 and 3 gig of RAM, it's little wonder performance is good across the board. UI is stable. You've also got that fingerprint scanner for added security, NFC for one-touch pairing and file transfers as well. What's more, you've got LTE, Bluetooth 4.0, though you don't have Qi wireless charging. Probably the neatest thing for any hackers out there or anyone who just likes to mod their phones is the fact it's got an unlockable bootloader. That means within warranty you can install things like Cyanogen mod on here and you won't be voiding your warranty. So that's really good going from Nextbit, really looking after the hacker community. What's even better is that battery life is better than I thought it would be. It's got just over 2600 milliamps and I didn't think that would get me through a full day, but it did. And it's got quick charge 2.0 as well. Not the fastest around, but still charges zippier than I thought it would as well, given the fact, like I said, smaller cell. Full day power user like me really means until about 9 p.m. But if you're a moderate user, you'll be able to make it until early the next morning. So that's the Nextbit Robin, a beautiful looking phone with some interesting, unique elements with that cloud storage system. The user interface is really wonderful. $399. I'd say it's still a decent buy, even though it's not the newest device out there. If you can pick it up when it is on offer like it has been for $299, wholeheartedly recommended. I'd say that is what I'd call a steal. Hopefully you enjoyed this review. If you did, click that thumbs up button, like the channel, like I said, subscribe, helps us out like crazy. You stay on top of everything we do. Thanks for watching Btekt.
For business news, videos and insights, check out the O2 Business blog by clicking the link on screen or in the description below.